Greetings and salutations. Good morning. It is bright and early. We're on our way to Sturgis. It's what we're doing today. Wonder what we'll talk about on today's Graveyard Biker. Alright there, hello. It's a little brighter outside. We are en route to Sturgis. And we're going to do a couple things on the way up there. We're going to stop at several different Harley-Davidson dealerships on our way. Let you see what those look like, let you see which ones we're going on. We are going to drive for quite a bit today. Sturgis is, I can't remember exactly how far, like 24 hours away from Atlanta. So we'll drive probably 15 hours or so today, stay the night in, I think, Kansas City, and then drive the rest of the way Saturday morning. So, if you were wondering why, once again, and I said this in the last several videos, why we are trailering, that's why. On a motorcycle, it would take twice as long. So we're stopping infrequently as possible, grabbing food to go, that sort of thing. But I am going to make a point to stop at the HD dealerships that we're passing along the way, because we're going to go past so many. So I thought that would be fun. And I've got my trusty companion with me here.
Hi.
Periodically we'll break into different conversations that we're having and that sort of thing. We're going to be driving a long time today. So
I'm gonna go to sleep.
That's probably true. But that's it. I'll probably pick you up again once we get to the first HD place, which will be Mountain Creek Harley-Davidson in Dalton, Georgia. We cannot stop at all of them because it would take us that much longer to get up there. There's only a certain number of hours I'm willing to sacrifice to that. Plus, we start running into a problem with them being closed because we'll be driving till late into the night. Of course, as you know, Harley-Davidson has banker's hours. So they will close.
Do better, Harley. Do better.
Next time, do better. Okay.
They open late, close early. So, and I thought, well, we'll just hit the rest of them on the way back. Well, we're coming back on Saturday and then Sunday. Well, most Harley-Davidsons aren't open on Sunday, which I have an issue with as well, but that's beside the point. All automotive dealerships, regardless, should be open on the weekends when people that work for a living can go. Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
But anyway, that's what we're doing. We'll see you at the next one.
Bye.
This is our first one that we're stopping at on the way to Sturgis. This is Mountain Creek Harley-Davidson.
Talk about all the things.
this was our number 2 dealership on the way up. White Lightning Harley-Davidson, which is in Chattanooga. And they're having a bike show in September that I might come to. Let's get on the road. All right, so we are now in Tennessee. We just went to the second dealership, which is in Chattanooga, Vegas, and we're getting back on the road.
My observations of the last 2 Harleys are as follows. Number 1, the first Harley, I can't remember the name of it.
It was Mountain Creek.
Mountain Creek was the very first Harley-Davidson that was in a strip mall. And I don't mean a t-shirt shop, but like a legit dealership. In a strip mall, at the end of a strip mall. That was new to me, so that was very interesting. Actually, it was really cool on the inside. This one was like, no kidding, like on one side was like a, grocery store, and then on the other side was a Harley-Davidson. That was cool. So that was different, but it was really nice inside. It didn't look like a strip mall Harley. It looked like a Harley. The second one that we went to, the White Lightning one that we just came from, it was really cool. It had a really cool bike in it, which I'm sure you'll see. The other thing is, it was the first time I noticed, I'm sure it's not the first one ever, but the first time I've noticed an electric parking on the outside. They had a charging station for electric bikes on the outside. I know that Harley has electric vehicles, but I just didn't, or electric bikes.
It's not doing very well, their electric bike.
Yeah, well, I did notice that the electric charging station was not occupied. But yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen one of those. So far we're down 2 Harleys, and both of them were unique in some way.
Yep. All right, so it dawned on me that a lot of you guys, unless you've been in the lives, Grabbing Biker Live, which we actually don't do as often anymore, you actually don't know a lot about my motorcycle history. So I thought we would share it today.
Story time.
So I started riding when I was 5 years old. I had one of those battery-powered motorcycles because my dad was a motorcycle guy. He actually used to ride. He had a Flash, VSA Flash, in the 50s and 60s that he used to ride. And he rode with a club that was made up of mechanics, and they would run around and fix people's cars that were broken down. So anyway, because of him, he got me a battery-powered motorcycle when I was 5 years old, and I'll show you a shot of what it looks like. But so I started on that, not really a motorcycle, but one of those battery-powered toys, not like the battery-powered Tesla things that we have today. But, so I had that first. And then we moved out to the country.
Sonny, move out to the country.
And I was in 3rd grade, and I got a mini bike from Sears for Christmas. Now, if you were raised in the 80s, you know Sears was the store that parents got everything from.
Put on your Sunday best, kids.
That's right.
We're going to Sears.
So I got a yellow mini bike, lawnmower engine, the whole thing. 1 speed, and then as we got older, we grew up, and I say we, me and my sisters, and my dad had found somebody that had made an automatic mini bike. So this one had 2 gears, and it swapped with an automatic transmission, and it was red. And I would ride both of those all around the property because we were in the country. And from that point, I got a little older, and I got a Yamaha MX-80, which was my first motocross bike. And I was still elementary school. But this is when BMX bikes were a big deal in the 80s, not in the 90s, but in the 80s. And, people were all riding their mongoose and jumping and all that stuff, and I was like, no, I'd do motocross. So, we lived, like I said, out in the country, and our neighbor had a bunch of property. We had 51 acres ourselves. And so we had trails all over the place, and we would drive down the road because it was illegal, but it was the country. What are you going to do? We drive down the road to somebody else's property, We drive up and down the power lines. Did anybody else have this experience growing up? But it was great. Loved it. And a friend of mine, there was a neighbor. He had a bike as well. His friend had a bike from his old neighborhood, and he would bring it down on a trailer, and we would all go riding. So I spent a lot of time growing up on motorcycles. My father found a Yamaha 175 Ti, and it was a street bike. Actually, it was a trail bike, and he got that just for something to play around with. And so when I got older, I drove that. Now at this point, I am 15 or whatever, and I'm old enough to drive a motorcycle. In Georgia, you can drive a motorcycle at 15 years old. And if even today, if you have a learner's permit, you can still drive it by yourself. You just have restrictions on when you can drive it. So I had that, and that was the last bike that I had until after college. So I rode a friend of mine's, had a Suzuki GL something when I was in college, and he was just excited to have somebody else that knew how to ride a motorcycle. So I rode it from time to time as well. Immediately when I graduated college, I moved. I was in a band, and me and my band, we moved to Jacksonville, Florida. And I lived with my drummer, and he had a motorcycle down there. I didn't have a car or whatever. I was living in actually his house because he was from Jacksonville. And he had a motorcycle, or his sister had a motorcycle, I can't remember. But as soon as I could get my license, I could drive that one. Because I didn't have my motorcycle license. I'd been driving for all these years and never bothered to go get a piece of paper. So I could ride his. Now, I remember it needed to be fixed up, and I was working to fix it up. But before I actually did that, I think I moved back to Atlanta. But I really didn't own another bike once I was out of college and an adult, because I couldn't buy one. So then I got a motorcycle again after college. I was dating a girl whose father was the founder of a motorcycle club. And so I had always been into motorcycles and motorcycle clubs my whole life because of my dad. And so I decided I wanted to be involved in all of that. So I made plans, actually had a friend of mine help me to finance a Honda Rebel 450. Well, little did I know, the 450 does not meet the requirements to be in a motorcycle club. But it was a little cruiser-looking bike. It was a good-looking bike, even though it was small. And it could keep up with the big ones. So I drove the crap out of that until I was invited to prospect for the club, in which case I got a Honda Shadow 750 or 700 VT. I think it was a 700 VT. And it was bigger, looked more like a Sportster. But again, all Japanese bikes, right? And I had that bike, and that's the one that I prospected for the club in. And it was not a Harley-only club. We actually had a guy that had a crotch rocket. We called him Youngblood. But we did all kinds of things with the club, going to different rallies and whatnot. And we had, most of the people had Harley-Davidsons, and those of us that were young and could not afford one did not have them. And of course, we were like the youth group and made fun of. But we stuck together, because at least we rode everywhere we went. It's the only thing that we had, only transportation that we had. We rode in the snow and in the ice and in the whatever. So I had that bike, rode it a lot. A friend of mine had a Honda Magna. He was in the club as well. And he was always wrenching on that bike. He made it a hardtail, took the shocks off, did all kinds of crazy. Anyway, we rode, he and I palled around a lot. And we both had Japanese motorcycles. We had a chip on our shoulder because at least we rode, right? I actually got a car first car that I bought after that, I bought because the girl that I was dating didn't like not being able to hold my hand while we were...
There's a lot of girls in this
Yeah,
story.
well...
I'm just going to tune out.
Well, we were going down the road. So that's why I got a car at the time. And I had a Firebird. This is not a car story.
So she couldn't hold your hand, but she could wrap her legs around you and like hold you, like hug you. That's a weak excuse.
Yeah, it's probably had more to do with it being cold. But either way, I had that for years. That's the bike I had when I got married to my first wife. And I had parked it because, I'm a young whippersnapper. Going from apartment to apartment. I don't have a house. I ended up putting that bike in storage at my, I don't know if we were married yet, or if she was just my girlfriend, fiance, whatever at the time. But we stored it at her house, and her parents' dog chewed it up. Chewed up the seat, chewed up all the wiring on it, and I had just gotten this thing rebuilt. And matter of fact, a friend of mine from the motorcycle club, Bojangles, he's the one that was rebuilding it. And just got done with that, and I parked it because I didn't have any place to put it because I was, not homeless, but I was living like a 20-something-year-old.
You're a vagabond.
Yeah, and so I didn't have a place to park it. Parked it there, dog chewed it up, I got mad. Swore I'd never get another bike until I could get a Harley. So then there was years while I'm building my career, building my family, going from wife to wife, and I had finally got to where I was old enough to afford. I paid off my car, different car of course, paid that off and decided my next thing I was going to get was a bike, and it was going to be a Harley. So I bought a Fat Boy. This was 2013 maybe? 2012, 2013, something like that. Years and years afterwards. And so I had my Harley. I started getting into the culture again. And then that bike had an accident. And so I was going behind somebody, going down the road, and the car in front of me stopped at the same time that the car was beside me. I had nowhere to go. I ran into the car. Laid it down, ran into the car. You hear people say, laying it down is an excuse. Well, if I didn't lay it down, I'd have gone through the car. But anyway, I ended up broke the majority of my ribs. How many ribs did I break?
9.
And
9 out of 12.
Yeah, messed up my leg, messed up my pelvis. And I knew her at this time, and she was actually the person, this is me lovely wife over here, she actually was the person that found me.
That's a whole other story.
She was driving by and saw me wrecked on the road.
We should have that as a Patreon, or what do you call it?
Yeah,
like extra.
yeah, for
it's
real.
Like our story. Because it does involve motorcycles.
A bonus story.
Yeah.
But she literally found me, and when I became conscious after the wreck, she was above me trying to wake me up, scared out of her mind. So yeah, again, a whole nother story.
Bonus content.
But that was the end of the Fat Boy, and then of course, the insurance company totaled it, and that's when I got the Road King. So 2014, I got the Road King, which I decided to get because it was a little more stout. It's a bigger bike. And so I test drove it, rode it. I had the big ape hangers with the 2-inch barrels on the Fat Boy. And so the only thing that I really actually, no, I custom ordered this whole thing. But I had to make sure I had those bars on it. So when I went out of the showroom, the day that I picked up the bike, I had those matching ape hangers on it, and I had added some other things as well. The 2 side lights, auxiliary lights, whatever. Also, on the Fat Boy, I wanted leather saddlebags. So the Fat Boy came out with hard saddlebags, but they were leather, and they ended up being small. So with the Road King, I didn't get that. I got normal saddlebags. This one kept asking me what I was going to name the bike, what I was naming the bike. I didn't have a name for the bike. This one.
This one. That's my name now. This one.
Biker Barbie was asking me questions about when I was going to name the bike because she has personality, and I had never named the bike.
Doesn't everybody name their bike? Do you guys name your bikes? I mean, the Jeep that we're riding in has a name. Everything has a name. If you name it, you'll take better care of it. I guarantee it.
But I didn't have a name for the bike because it's like tattoos. It has to be something that I'm going to stay with, right? So we are in. This is a side story because I've already told you the latest bike that I have. We were in St. Pete at St. Pete Bike Fest, and I saw a bike that was majority gold. And I have a Miata that is chrome and gold and black. And so I saw it, I was inspired by it. I didn't want to have gold. And with my business, we were into steampunk. So I decided to do chrome and copper.
Johnny
And
Penny copper, not orange copper.
with that, Alchemy was christened as the name for the bike. And all of a sudden I started doing that project, having a show bike.
And if you don't know why we named it Alchemy, then you have some Googling to do.
So that brings us up to date on the motorcycles that I have had in my history. It's been a long time because I am old. So I've been on two wheels for quite some time. So we're now leaving our third Harley-Davidson dealership. This one is Bumpus, not Bumpus, Bumpus
We got Bumpus.
in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Destination truck. Don't get behind it.
All right, so we just stopped for a bite to eat and met someone else that is heading up to Sturgis. Hopefully we will see them up there. If we don't see you up there and you see this, hi, good to meet you. And yeah, we're on our way to our fourth HD on the way up, right?
Yes.
Fourth one.
Boswell. Boswell?
But one of the many Boswells
Boswell's.
In-
Boswell number 1.
in Nashville. So let's go. So,
Can you hear the sirens?
yeah, I can hear the sirens. All right, so
You hear the sirens?
we just pulled over because my wife noticed that the mirror was doing this.
Yeah,
So-
it was coming off.
So we just saved ourselves a copper mirror. Yay!
Thank you for bringing tools with us. Always bring tools with you.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right, so we just passed through, let's see, we went to Boswell, Harley-Davidson, which is their main oldest one. And then we went to Boswell's Honky Tonk, which is a t-shirt shop. Now we're going to Boswell's Ring of Fire, and they're all in Nashville. There's a pink Lamborghini behind us. See if you can get it. Can you get it on this thing? Where's it at again?
Can you see it? It's right. It's right. Oh.
I'm gonna slow it up. It'll go around this. Barbie pink
Yeah,
Lamborghini.
piss off the pink Lamborghini. Okay, you ready?
Oh yeah, okay. So we are at our final stop on the way up. That's not true. Final stop on this day of the way up. And we're at Ring of Fire, Harley-Davidson, which is not named after the song. It's named after the trail. The trail is named after the song.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. I fell into a burning ring of fire.
But yeah, our next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna boogie on up to the hotel. So we're going to do a little bit of time traveling, and we'll see you in Kansas City. So we are getting ready to get into Illinois, and the first city, I guess, exit maybe in Illinois, is a place called Metropolis. Well, we've been to Metropolis before. Metropolis is the home of Superman. Rather than go to Metropolis again, I'm just gonna cut you in some footage from the last time we were here.
Then we stumbled across Metropolis. Yes, like where Superman is from. This is Metropolis, Illinois, and it is Superman themed. Pretty cool little town.
Well, good morning. It is now Saturday. We are leaving later than we planned. Planned on leaving the hotel at 7 o'clock this morning. It is now just after 9. But that is because we did not get into the hotel until about 2:30 this morning. So it took a little bit longer than we imagined because of traffic and whatnot. But I just imagined if we were on the bike, we'd still be driving to the hotel right now. So, but we got a little bit of winks, had some breakfast, and now we're on our way to the next Harley-Davidson dealership on the way to Sturgis, which is Outlaw Harley-Davidson. So, interestingly enough, on our way to Outlaw Harley-Davidson, we saw cops pulled over some of the HAs on the side of the highway, and then the cops went by us. The HAs followed them. Half of them did. The other half followed us to Outlaw Harley-Davidson.
I think it's the pink Jeep, personally.
This is where we're going next. Alright, so we are at Worth Harley-Davidson, and there was something interesting in there. What did you see interesting in there?
There was a genuine replica, but I didn't know that when I first saw it, of a, what is it? World Wrestling Federation, whatever, heavyweight champion belt.
Yep, now I got the T on the belt. The finance guy bought it, and they used it as a reward for the top salesperson. But when we first got there and we looked at it, it literally had a security chain around it, and we're like, freaking wrestlers work here. Nope.
Well, it looked like real gold and jewels on it.
Yep. So.
It was not.
A little interesting. All right, so where's our next place here?
I don't know. Let's see. Trying to secure my hair since you have the top up. Lois Hills.
All right, in Iowa. So
Highway.
Let's go to Iowa. Look, clueless people. Wow. Hey, we don't know what's going on. So I just have to say, these people, it's just, are there that many non-thinking people in the United States still? Well, yes there are, because Kamala Harris was up for election. So it's just, if you would just look at the issues for yourself instead of being told what to think. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then you won't be standing out there on the street corner like an idiot. Okay, off of soapbox. So my thing is, Trump has done, he's doing what a president's supposed to do, right? He has an agenda, he was voted on the agenda, he is attacking the agenda, which is something that we have not seen in years. Because usually we get voted on superfluous crap and then we do nothing.
Empty promises.
Right? Yeah. So he's doing what he was elected to do. That's good. Now, there are things about Trump that I don't like. The main thing about Trump that I don't like, which is not his job performance, is why does he have to throw people under the bus all the time? To me, that's lowbrow. It's not necessary. I mean, I understand.
Tiny penis syndrome.
I understand talking about how, yes, before the last several years of the presidency were horrible. Say it, get it out there. You don't have to repeat it for 6 months. You know what I mean?
We get it. You don't like Biden.
Well, I mean, it's just, we've heard it. And every time, and as much as I like the little blonde girl, what's her name? Caroline Levitt, right? As much as I like her, she's just does the mouthpiece, does the same thing. It's not necessary to always defend somebody that's winning. I'm just saying.
Take the yes.
Word. Harley-Davidson
Planned.
for the trip up.
Planned.
Unless we see another one that was left off the research, like we did after I told you the last one was last night. Now, is it the last one between here and there? No. There are other ones, but we're saving them for the route back, so you will see them at the end of the series as opposed to now. That's partially because we want to get to where we're going. So we are already a good deal behind schedule because we spent a little too long at the last Harley-Davidson dealership, which was Lois. Or Lowe's.
Lois?
Lois. I have no idea. Lois. It's in Iowa. So we spent a long time in there because they were busy, and we had to change the line. So it took a while to do that. Then we stopped and we got lunch or whatever. So, but yeah. So now we're on our way to our cabin, and it is 7.5 hours away still. So we will get there, and the next video that you will see will be the first day in Sturgis. That is going to be the end of today's episode, which was the journey up and all the various Harley-Davidsons in between. So hope you enjoyed that, and until next time, stay free. Keep the shiny side up.